The epidemic that we're having now, and we've been having it for a long time, but we didn't want to make women feel bad. We've been having this for a very long time just because 1,000 women did the right thing as it relates to their sons. The reality is, most women go to court, they weaponize family court to get custody of these sons, and then produce terrible sons, and then leave the sons out in the world for them to get even worse. This is for all the women who say stuff like, well, why aren't the men in charge? Why aren't the men doing this? When you weaponize family court and this white person, Latin person judge goes out of their way, or female black judge goes out of their way to make sure that the woman gets custody of this kid with no responsibility. She doesn't have to have any responsibility. And I spoke to somebody the other night. They were like, well, you know, the guy should do more than just pay. What can he do? And every scenario I put forth to them, they just kept saying, well, no. If she has custody, she moves out of state, and the kid grows up and he don't even graduate college. He's out on the street. He's a criminal. How are you going to blame his father? You put the father in a position to lose. You know it. Father knows it. Everybody knows it. This is the issue. If we're really fixing this community, we got to remember something. A lot of black women don't need custody of these boys because the boys are not coming out as great members of society, let alone great members of the black community. Even in Africa, they make sure they keep the sons attached to the father in some way, form, or fashion. But the community that Plantation Massa created here in America, they're anti-father. Everybody's anti-father here in Black America. Everybody's anti-father. But then these same people wonder why these dudes are violent. These dudes do stuff against females. You got too many people that are anti-father. And we have a whole situation out here where these women get custody and don't produce good children. I'm quite sure Cynthia G's son, if he turns out to be gay, Cynthia G is going to blame everything but herself. If Cynthia G doesn't do this, if Cynthia G doesn't do that, and her boy turns out, she's going to blame everybody else. It's the school system. It's always some reason. Everybody got all these excuses. In order to fix this black community, this is what we got to understand. We have been making it easy for way too long on the mothers who produce these terrible children. If you want to blame the father, give the father custody, and the crime the crime statistics will drop in 4 years flat. They don't want to get a father's community. Then when they say, well, these fathers don't want to be in the child's life. Okay, let's put it to the test. Let's create a law that sticks, an actual law that if the father wants custody and the father does not want if the father wants custody, full custody, that he gets it. And the mother don't have to pay no child support. He'll take care of it. Kill two birds with one stone. But the family court system don't want that because the family court system wants to get Title IV money. What is Title IV money, Mr. Research? You should be looking that up. They don't want that. Shout out to D. What up? What up? What up? Sorry, but I feel like wolf away on the whole system. Yeah, you can wolf away on the whole system. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, the system will catch up with you, because if you go to another scenario, they're going to have a system also. Some way, some form of fashion, you got to involve yourself with one of these systems, whether it's the Asian system, the Korean system, the Chinese system, the Japanese system. No matter where you go, there's a system you gotta roll with. You get black women twerking at protests. Yeah, and again, let me say it again. It's really the men that causes these problems with women. Men have to come back in full force, and a lot of older men got to do it. We got to come back in full force, and we got to start bringing back shame. We got to bring back shame. You know, there's too many older men still apologizing to women. There's too many older men still holding his own son down on the ground while a woman smashes her heels in the son's face. There's too many guys like that. I've been going to a lot of meetings with black men, at black men groups, black men situations. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be going to one this weekend. Let me make sure we're still having that. Black men in medical. And see, nobody wants to step up and say what the problem really is. You see what I'm saying? Nobody wants to step up in amongst black men and say what the problem is. There's two things going on. There's black men who complain with no money. That's the biggest situation. The black men who complain with no money, they talk the loudest because they ain't got no money. The black guys who have money say the least, and they're willing to sacrifice their own son to help a woman. That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. And women, in turn, will get all this help from this man, from these men, and think only about herself after she gets all this help. So this is why I always turn it back on the guys. As guys, we're really helping the problem stay the way it is. Because every time guys come out and we talk like warriors, and we talking about putting the women in check, financially putting them in check, not just verbally, here comes some dude either talking a lot of verbal mess and he can't contribute financially, or you got some dude that's willing to hold black men back so that women can dominate. I'm just tired of seeing it. So for me, I'm going to speak about it more. I'm going to put myself in position more to put an end to the nonsense. We just got way too much of it, man. We just got way too much of it. We're at a point now where the guys won't even help their own sons. And we got to create systems to where these mothers are no longer in control. It's gone on for too long. It's gone on for way too long. The mothers are not producing the boys the way they should. These boys are out wilding and they just doing stuff on their own. Let me see if I can pull up this video of the young boy. And this is something you need to see. It's like I said, it's to the point where it's childish. Now, they say this guy hit her with a skateboard. He hit this girl with a skateboard. This girl is talking to him from a distance, of at least a yard, okay, or 3/4 of a yard. This dude takes the wheels of his skateboard and hits this girl, and then walks to these snickering little children. This is why I said everybody ain't a black man. Then walks over to these snickering little children and says, "My name is Skeeter Mills or some Skeeter Mills, some little boy name Skeeter Mill." Just watch it. See, this is the problem. It's this childish nonsense that we got to deal with, and the women are the one that create the stupid stuff. This is some mother's son that she been keeping the father away from him. She didn't want the father to have custody. I guarantee if we could find the father, he'd have a whole different story to tell about how this mother kept him away, didn't want him to have nothing to do with the kid. And you know what the first thing people are gonna say? Well, why didn't he fight more and all this type of stuff? No, we gotta take custody away from these mothers. These mothers are just not. It's just not. They these mothers are terrible. These mothers are just terrible, and we got to take these boys away from these mothers. That's what we got to do. The boys got to get taken away from these mothers. These mothers are not producing these boys in no way, shape, or form well. Nobody wants to say it. Everybody wants to protect the women's feelings. There's only a few thousand women who are actually doing something righteous for their sons. It's ridiculous. A Harlem man hitting that's not a man, that's a young boy. Only boys do stuff like that. Only children do stuff like that. Here's he saying, "I know I was wrong for what I did. I'm sorry." Man, get up out of here. You sorry because you got caught. You sorry because it went viral. You know, this is the ridiculous thing that we're dealing with. And it's the mothers who allow this stuff to happen. It's the mothers who allowed this stuff to happen. Then we sit up here and say, well, no, it ain't a well thing. It's so, man, look, the mother needs to be fined. We got to start financially fining these mothers, suing these mothers for how their kids come out. I got a new one, Q. Whenever I hear black men getting slandered or getting unnecessarily hate, I do push-ups. Just know I'm getting swole. I mean, you know what? I understand. None of us as black men want to be persecuted. I get that. You feel me? But we at a point now, man, where not everybody's a man, though. Not everybody's a man. You got too many dudes on this little boy stuff. Way too many dudes. Dudes can't have their way. They want to be on this childish nonsense. Everything is about laughter. Everything is about entertainment. So just like we on the Black Lives Matter tip and we on the, do righteous by do the right thing, you know what I mean? We also got to say the same thing for within the community. And it starts with the mothers. We got to take the children out of the hands of these mothers because these mothers are terrible stewards. These mothers are not producing. great situations. No matter how much we want to talk about how things should be, it's just not coming out like that. It's just not coming out like that. It's just too many women with terrible outcomes. And we got to be in a position now, man, where we got to seriously get these women out of the lives of sons. Let them be with the daughters. See, and this and behavior like that is why many people find it hard to protect black folks because of behavior like that. That's childish, that's unnecessary. These dudes walk out here dressing like they 15. We got to start financially suing the mothers. The mothers need to pay a financial cost for what these boys do. If you don't want the father to have custody, fine. You got to start paying financial costs for everything these boys do. Nobody likes to hear that, but that's the realest shit ever. It's the realest shit ever. Because this shit has gotten to the point where it's beyond childish now. Mothers need to start paying the financial costs. Mothers need to start getting sued for everything the boy does. If you don't want this kid, give him up to the orphanage. Okay? If you don't want this kid, give him up to the state. But if the father wants the kid, then guess what? You need to go live with your father. Matter of fact, more dudes should be forced to raise kids. Forced. No, you go straight to your dad. And we're going to start penalizing your dad if something go wrong. Going to start penalizing your dad. That's what we need to start doing. All day, every day. We need to start doing that. We're not going to fix this black community with mothers in control of these sons. We're just not going to fix it. It ain't going to get better. If anybody would like to come up and discuss, I'll drop the link in the chat. But that's really the summation of what I'm talking about, man. It's we're getting to the point where nothing is being productive. Everything is for entertainment and a quick couple of $100. It ain't no long-term money. The children are not benefiting. You got women with great jobs and the children still don't benefit. This is ridiculous. We at that point where it's like, okay, so what's the purpose of giving the woman custody? What is the purpose? Why should we give women custody if they keep producing the same type of violent child? Nobody wants to say this because we want to protect women's feelings. But that's the problem. We're constantly protecting women's feelings and they constantly attacking. They constantly doing violent stuff. What do you want? How do you want this stuff to get fixed? If you keep protecting, and you know what? Let's go to the dudes. Okay? We need to get to a point where if we go after the dude and lock him up, we give the family an option. Financially pay for what he's done. $100,000, $50,000, pay that. Your son is released. Your boy is released. Because we need to start making some financial penalty toward what's going on. Needs to be some penalty. Can't keep doing the same thing every day, all day. Women twerking, twerking, women twerking in front of the police. Gay people cheering them on. Stupid. And it's a dude talking about he love it. Yes. And you can tell it's a gay dude cheering her on. And what she don't realize is probably turning the white cops on. Listen to this gay dude cheer her on. See? Chaos. Now, as much as we talk about black dudes, you ain't getting no black dudes doing this nonsense. Trying to tell y'all, man. Trying to tell y'all. It's beyond ridiculous. Yes, white people are in error. Yes, we got to go after what white people do. Yes, yes, yes. But guess what? Guess what? We ain't going to get it the way some of these women, young boys are acting. It's just, what are we doing? So, thank you for listening. I'll catch you guys on the next one.